Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Shah. Now we are just on the eve of the election that takes place tomorrow in Haryana for the 90 seats. There has been a high-octane battle. There have been top star campaigners from the likes of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amit Shah from the BJP who were campaigning for the local leaders or the local candidates. On the other side, we had Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and of course a number of regional leaders including Bhupinder Singh Hooda and Nayab Singh Saini, who is the current interim Chief Minister of Haryana. But has that then impacted the voters' psyche, and whether they have been influenced by these campaigns is something that will be found out on the 8th of October when the results come out. But joining me on the telecast are my political spokespersons. Let's hear it from them. The key constituencies, the big issues, and what according to them is the perception that has been created on the ground. So starting off with Mukesh Tyagi, spokesperson of the BJP. Mukesh, let's understand from you, what are the big issues that the BJP has been fighting this election on? You have been in power for the 10 years. There are at this point of time seemingly a trend of anti-incumbency that is creeping in.
Hello, 1 second, Megha, 1 second. Give me one.
Okay, meanwhile, we'll come to Dr. Pooja Tripathi, spokesperson of the Congress. Dr. Pooja Tripathi, what are the key issues on which Congress is fighting the election? What are the promises that you are giving to the people of Haryana?
Megha, Haryana elections is Haryana the second state that's going into election post the Lok Sabha elections, and the wheels that have been churned in Lok Sabha elections, I think Haryana would put a seal to that. We are fighting elections on people's issue. The 10 years of Bharatiya Janata Party government has almost doubled the unemployment rate. We are fighting issues on the MSP promises to the Kisan. We are promising the scrapping of Agniveer to the Jawan. We are promising the restoring the dignity of Pahalwan, Betiyan that who have been dragged in front of the parliament, and there have been no action taken. And we are fighting for the core issues of Haryana. The Haryana, which boasted of some 2.9% unemployment rate, it's now at 9% unemployment rate. The atrocities on SC and ST amount to 9,700 cases. I have a list of corruption cases: the Dadam Khanan Ghotala, Yamuna Khanan Ghotala, Sharab Ghotala, Metro Route Ghotala, Amrit Yojana, Registry Ghotala, Dhan Khareed Ghotala, Roadways Ghotala. 30 paper leaks happened in last 10 years, HPSC and SSC Ghotala. So the whole governance system has been riddled with corruption. And what we see in BJP, the BJP is actually a shattering house of cards. 84 resignations prior to when the list for the Bharatiya Janata Party came out. They had to withdraw the list. Then there have been change of CM, there have been change of deputy CM, there have been change of BJP president. There's a Rao Inderjeet Singh who's claiming he's the CM. There's the Anil Vij who's saying he's the perfect person to be CM. There is
Okay.
the Brahman.
Okay, all right. Okay, you made a point. Let me get in Mukesh Tyagi, spokesperson of the BJP. Mukesh Tyagi, is the perception on the ground that 10 years of BJP, there seems to be anti-incumbency and there is a change that people want?
So I think Congress has been trying to create this narrative, Megha. I mean, if you look at the election in Madhya Pradesh, I mean, they had said that BJP is completely trounced in Rajasthan. And we won in Rajasthan, we won in Madhya Pradesh second time. I mean, it was continuity of the government. They believe like in BJP won 115 out of 199 seats in Rajasthan. So I mean, Chhattisgarh also, they were very confident they'll win, but they were completely trounced. So, I mean, building up this perception, people know exactly who is corrupt and who is not corrupt. I mean, this was the Kharchi Parchi Sarkar, where every recruitment has happened by paying certain money, or the Parchi was issued, only then candidate could be selected. So, the corruption was at peak. CLU, I mean, look at the land scam which happened. There are 3 Ds, Dalal and dealers and Damad. This is the 3 pillars of the corruption which perpetuated in Hooda government, and now they are trying to put I think they are completely living in a utopian world, Megha, that they are going to win.
Okay, but then, the key issues being raised, and the Congress said, talking about the MSP for farmers, talking about the wrestlers' protests and how the women wrestlers were treated at the Jantar Mantar protest, and the third point about Agniveers. Do you think this is going to dent the performance of the BJP?
No, I'll give you some statistics. Like as far as the Agniveer is concerned, government has made very, very clear. Haryana government has made very clear. Naib Singh has said it very categorically that we are going to absorb these people. We are also going to give them the pension. So Agniveer is not going to be counterproductive. On the contrary, Megha, they should understand the worldwide the practice is conscription, where most of the people go for the training program. So we need to build a youth brigade in terms of defending our boundaries. We are living in a very vulnerable boundaries, and Congress propensity to Pakistan and China, I think, creates compounds this balkanizing attitude even further. So we have to have a very strong. They will criticize. Agniveer is a damn good scheme, and I think it's a very important. We should welcome it.
Okay.
Coming
Okay,
to the MSP.
Yeah.
I'll just finish in 1 second. Coming to the MSP, we have agreed to give on 24 crops, and which is a very large number, and everybody is being paid remunerative prices. I think we are meeting all the aspirations of the farmers. So this is a complete misinformation which Congress is trying to.
Dr. Virinder Sindhu, spokesperson of the JJP, thank you very much for joining me on the telecast. Things have shifted quite a bit since the last elections, 2019 elections that took place in Haryana. You had supported the BJP, formed the government together. Things have changed. You at this point in time are not siding with one party or the other.
मेगा, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के आज के दिन हरियाणा में काफी बुरे हालात हैं। इतने बुरे हालात हैं कि उन्होंने सीएम बदला, सीएम के बाद डेट भी उन्होंने बदलवाई, सीएम की विधानसभा भी बदली गई, और किस तरीके से हरियाणा के हालात उन्होंने पहुंचा दिए कि एक ऐसा प्रदेश जो पूरे देश में 10% से ज्यादा डिफेंस में देता है, 6% से ज्यादा कंट्रीब्यूशन उसका जीएसटी में है, 2% का एरिया होने के बावजूद भी, 2% की पॉपुलेशन होने के बावजूद भी इतना अच्छा 70% कंट्रीब्यूशन देता है वो स्पोर्ट्स में, मेडल लेके आने में अंतरराष्ट्रीय स्तर पर। उसके बावजूद आज के दिन हरियाणा का अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट पूरे देश में नंबर 1 पे है। ऐसा प्रदेश जो हरियाणा के तीनों, जो दिल्ली के तीनों तरफ फैला हुआ है, उसके बावजूद ऐसे प्रदेश के इन्होंने इतने बुरे हालात कर दिए हैं। जो नरेंद्र मोदी के ढकोसले हैं, जो कि हम 2 करोड़ लोगों को रोजगार देंगे, 15-15 लाख खाते में आएंगे, 100 स्मार्ट सिटी बनाएंगे। इन्होंने 3 दंगे हरियाणा में करवाए, इतने बड़े बड़े दंगे करवा के जाति के नाम पे, धर्म के नाम पे इन्होंने लोगों को आपस में लड़वाया, और फिर जाति के नाम पर इन्होंने पर्चियों से सीएम बनाए, चाहे वो मध्य प्रदेश में बनाए, राजस्थान में बनाए, छत्तीसगढ़ में बनाए, हरियाणा में बनाए। सिंह सैनी को ऐसे ही बनाया गया। इसका बदला हरियाणा की जनता लेगी। मैं आपके चैनल पे बैठ के मैं एक बात कह रहा हूं, इस चुनाव में भारतीय जनता पार्टी दाई का आंकड़ा नहीं छू पाएगी, 10 सीटें भारतीय जनता पार्टी नहीं ले पाएगी। क्षेत्रीय पार्टी ही हरियाणा की असली पार्टी है। जननायक जनता पार्टी हरियाणा के हितों के लिए लड़ी है। आप चाहे देखोगे, बस मुझे मैं एक बात कहना चाहूंगा, दुष्यंत चौटाला जी मात्र 10 विधायकों के साथ हरियाणा के उप मुख्यमंत्री थे। उन्होंने पूरे देश में पहली बार हमारा जो वादा था लोगों से, 70% आरक्षण का जो कानून हमने पूरे देश में बनवाया, किसी और प्रदेश में इस तरीके का कानून किसी विधानसभा में पास नहीं किया, हमने करवाया।
ओके, पर वीरेंद्र जी एक बात पूछना चाहूंगी कि इस समय जब आपने पोस्ट पोल अलायंस हुई, उस समय 40 सीटें बीजेपी की थी, 2019 में आपके पास कुछ सीटें थी, आपने कंबाइन करके अपनी फोर्सेस इलेक्शन जीता, डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर दुष्यंत चौटाला बने, उसके बाद आपने अपना सपोर्ट बीजेपी से निकाला। अब यहाँ पर अगर देखा जाए, अगर ऐसी नौबत आ जाती है कि कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी यहाँ पे मेजॉरिटी नहीं बना पाती, 46 वो सीटों से ज्यादा नहीं ला पाती, तो किस पार्टी की तरफ आपका रुझान होगा?
मैं एक बात कह रहा हूं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी धर्म जाति के नाम पर वोट लेने वाली पार्टी, इसका हरियाणा के हितों से कोई मतलब नहीं है। मैं आपके चैनल से ये बात बिल्कुल पूरे देश को बता देना चाहता हूं कि अगर हमें मुख्यमंत्री भी बनाएगी तो भी हम भारतीय जनता पार्टी जैसी खतरनाक पार्टियों का ना समर्थन करेंगे, ना समर्थन हम लेंगे। हम विपक्ष में बैठकर सड़क पर लड़ाई लड़ेंगे।
Okay, Nikhil Jain on the telecast with me. Nikhil, let's analyze the situation and take a look at the past figures in 2014, 2019, and now 2024. The last 2 elections have been won by BJP comfortably. What do you think has been the perception of the people? Is it could we take up issues which have been, the glaring issues as political parties and the star campaigners have spoken about, whether it is about MSP for farmers, whether we talk about the restless agitation, or we talk about the Agniveer scheme. But besides that, we've taken a look at how the Lok Sabha results also panned out, which were not in favor of the BJP. There was anticipation that BJP would win all the 10 seats. That has not happened. Could this be reflective in the assembly election results as well?
Megha, first of all, it was not a comfortable victory for the BJP in 2019 at all. That is the reason Dushyant Chautala had to be made the deputy chief minister. In an assembly of 90, where the majority mark was 46, the BJP in 2014 got 47, just 1 point below that, or one seat above that. And in 2019, they failed short of the majority mark. They got 40 seats. That is why they had to ally with Dushyant Chautala, the same Dushyant Chautala, whose entire election campaign in 2019 was Ab ki baar BJP Jamna Par. And instead of Jamna Par karne ki jagah, unhe Chandigarh pahuncha diya. And that is, I think, the lesson that the JJP and Dushyant Chautala have learned, that the people of Haryana do not like to be backstabbed. But that is what the BJP keeps on trying to do again and again, because the three key issues you asked earlier panelists in the debate, what are the key issues in the Haryana elections? It is simply Jawan, Pehlwan, Kisan. The Kisan, the farmers, whether they're Jats or non-Jats or Ahirwals or Gujars or any other community, the Kisans have been stopped by the Haryana government at the borders of Haryana and Delhi. They've been ill-treated. Manohar Lal Khattar, who has been the chief minister of the state for more than 9.5 years, for whom the prime minister was saying ki inke saath to main bike pe ghuma karta tha. You can see that Khattar's photos, branding is completely missing from this election. Nowhere does Khattar feature on the manifesto. He's not doing rallies. He's open rallies. He's doing rallies in banquet halls, but he's not doing open rallies. He's not featuring on hoardings, because the BJP also realizes that the past 10 years of Haryana BJP government was absolute misrule. The Congress has a very clear edge. The people of Haryana are very clearly understanding that whether it is the INLD of Abhay Chautala or the JJP of Dushyant Chautala or their alliance with Mayawati or Chandrasekhar Dhawan, these are all essentially parties that are going to cut into the vote bank of the Congress, and in one way or the other try to give an edge to the BJP by creating a hung assembly, so that a Dushyant Chautala or an Abhay Chautala can run to the BJP and make a government with that. The people understand that. That is why we can see that there'll be a very clear mandate. You can see countless ground reports by a number of YouTubers, news journalists, and other political analysts that Haryana is a state that has very clearly decided that it is going to give a clear mandate to Haryana.
Okay, all right. But then that remains to be seen after the election results come out on the 8th of October. I'm going to quickly again bring back Mukesh Tyagi. And Mukesh Tyagi, whether the reforms that BJP has tried to bring in Haryana with Agniveer or the farmers' reform, the farmers' laws, do you think this could backstab the BJP, especially with the regime, with what happened with the chief minister being removed, Manohar Lal Khattar now being made the union minister? Then you have Nayab Singh Saini, who was brought in belatedly. Has then the perception of the people been that their faith and trust in the leadership of Manohar Lal Khattar had shaken?
Not at all, Megha. I think BJP is known for changing its ace leadership around the election many times. It happened in Gujarat. It happened. The newly appointed chief minister of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh is an evidence to that fact that BJP can also field the cabinet minister for the assembly position. So there is no barriers. There is no ego barriers here. It is purely the policy of the government, because they want to remain in the power and they want to give the advantage to different states being a twin engine government. So this is the very firm and determined policy that all the central schemes should percolate down without any hindrances. What we have seen in contrary by the ruling party, which is Congress and the other parties, they did not allow the central policies to be benefited. Now, I've been, Megha, in Haryana for last few days and campaigning intensively for BJP. Let me tell you, I have seen the ground realities. There is a complete change of the perception. All these poisonous perception which Congress was trying to spread out has changed. People are behind. And let me tell you, 1 second, I'll just finish. Nayab Singh Saini, in 56 days, he has taken 129 decisions, whether it's a Agniveer or it has taken a decision for giving a scholarship to all the SC/ST for doing a medical. Number of industrial township is going to come, 24 the minimum wages for the crops. There is a whole developmental model which will be unfolded. And Nayab Singh Saini is a very young and dynamic chief minister. Minister, change of the baton from Manohar Lal Khattar to Naib Singh Saini is absolutely not a disruption. It's a very, very political, mature decision
Do
which
you
BJP has
think
taken.
BJP has sort of come to terms with, I'm going to come back to Agniveer because that seems to be what the people have been talking about. The politicians have been, going about speaking in terms of whether BJP or the Congress or the JJP or any other political party. And in hindsight, has BJP realized that the scheme that was rolled out perhaps was not in the best interest, and therefore it has had to make modifications and changes?
No, if you see the recruitment drive, a lot of youth and youngsters are very, very enthusiastic about joining Agniveer because it gives them a fantastic training, being exposed to the army, the physical, mental, everything is. So it's a very mature policy, as a matter of fact. It's not something they'll not be absorbed.
Okay.
Fairly large number of young Agniveers will be also absorbed in the mainstream. Plus the government jobs, private sector will also accept them. The skilling will be done. So these people will not remain unemployed. On the
Okay.
contrary,
Okay,
they will
all
have
right.
money
All
in the
right.
bank. They will have money in the bank to
Okay.
even take forward
Okay.
their competitive orientation. So
Okay.
this is
Dr.
completely.
Pooja Tripathi, coming to you, when talking about if the Congress were to win, are there any questions or doubts as to who's going to be the Chief Minister? Because the popular face continues to be Bhupinder Singh Hooda.
The leader of legislative party members will sit and decide who will be the CM face of Congress, and let's leave it on for the 8th of October. But I was listening to Mukesh ji, and I was listening to how Nayab Singh have been instrumental in all the changes and instrumental in the defeat of the upcoming defeat of BJP. Nayab Singh Saini, who had to change his seat because of fear of losing. Nayab Singh Saini, who could not ensure the victory of his own wife in the Zilla Parishad elections. We see how Manohar Lal Khattar has been completely absent from all the posters, every advertisement, everything of the while he led the state for 9.5 years. What we see when it comes to Agniveer being promised in 100% recruitment in Haryana, this only shows Bharatiya Janata Party's makkari. Why doesn't they promise the same to every Agniveer? Mukesh Tyagi ji was saying that youth are very enthusiastic. I have figures from Indian Army from 5,997 candidates that Haryana was sending per year before 2019. It has been reduced to 900. Now the people who have been taking the donkey route, the illegal route to foreign countries, because they are unemployed here, has increased by 60 times. 60 times people are taking that risky donkey routes to go to
Exaggeration.
So that is the issue that
Exaggeration.
It's not BJP. It's not exaggerated. It's your government's.
You are exaggerating.
It's your government said it in the
Your Rahul Gandhi is busy making the factory for jalebis, and donkey route story he is told. He has got very little to
Okay.
offer to the Haryana.
Okay.
I mean, he is only talking about two things: constitution, the people who mutilated
Let
constitutions.
Pooja finish her thought. You work
No,
in the
I
platform,
just
Mukesh.
want to
I will come back
interject
to you.
for-
I'll come back to you. I
Just-
will come back to you. I will come
Okay,
back to you.
okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Pooja.
So Mukesh, everywhere in US and everywhere, if you go in the metro cities, there's a frozen jalebi. If I can send you if you want it, paneer jalebi, kesar jalebi, things like that. So when Rahul Gandhi spoke of mass production, he spoke of the GST scheme that have been, backbreaking the small-time manufacturers. He spoke of bringing in the money into the ecosystem, and that's where you don't understand. You just don't understand. Let me
Okay.
ask you what.
Okay, all right. Yes, Mukesh, you would like to retort.
I want to just give me 1 second.
No,
Look, just 1 second if you allow me, Megha.
30 seconds. I have very little time. Yes.
So I want to ask Mukesh Tyagi ji, what happened to your star campaigner? What happened to the member of campaign committee, the person who was, Dalit face of Haryana BJP who joined Congress a day before? What happened? What does he has to say on it? So
Actually,
that
on the-
Okay.
On the-
Okay. All right. Yes.
Megha,
Mukesh,
now
would you
she
like
has
to? Would
completed-
you like to respond?
Megha, it's actually such a laughable argument she's advancing. Ashok Tawar, who has joined Congress, who has taken many U-turns in the last days, it is an insecurity of the Congress. They wooed Ashok Tawar to balance the Shelja's damage factor. Shelja, and look at their gesturing and posturing on the stage when Rahul Gandhi really pushed their fists together. It was a not दिल का मिलन नहीं था, ये एक बहुत जबरदस्ती का मिलन कराया गया. People have seen it's a divided Congress, fractured Congress. Huda is going to dominate. Shailja has been marginalized. That's the reason they have resorted to Ashok Tawar's entry into Congress. Coming to other thing, you see, Rahul Gandhi is a leader of opposition. He is supposed to be speaking about a larger blueprint of the economy of the country. Jalebi is obviously subset. We are not saying that jalebi is not eaten. But what is his vision for the country? He has no vision. He is just holding the red book of Indian Constitution, and they are responsible for mutilating the Constitution, and they are talking about Constitution. Look at the emergency era, how people have been ruined, and emergency fundamental rights were completely dismantled by Congress. And Congress is talking about Constitution. So they are completely hollow and absolutely absurd statement they're making to the public.
I'm going to bring back my focus to Haryana elections and what is it on the offer by the politicians and the political parties. Quickly getting you back, Dr. Virender Sindhu. What is it that the JJP is offering to the people of Haryana?
देखो, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जिस तरीके के ढकोसले हरियाणा से की है, उनसे अलग मैं एक ही बात आपको कहूंगा कि हमने वादे किए हैं, उन वादों को हम निभाएंगे. सबसे बड़ा वादा हमारा हरियाणा में ये है कि हम जितनी भी सरकारी नौकरियां हैं उसमें 50% रिजर्वेशन महिलाओं को देंगे टीचिंग की जॉब में. उसके साथ साथ 75% का जो हमारा कानून हमने पास करवाया था उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करवाएंगे हम. सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, हाई कोर्ट से लड़ाई लड़के 5100 पेंशन का जो हमारा वादा था पिछली बार, जो हमने 3000 पहुंचाया. मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूँ कि पूरे देश में सबसे ज्यादा बुढ़ापा पेंशन हरियाणा में मिलती है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार है राजस्थान में, वहां पे 1000 रुपए बुढ़ापा पेंशन है, हम 3000 रुपए बुढ़ापा पेंशन दे रहे हैं. भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने 2014 से पहले भी ऐसे अलग अलग पार्टियों से नेता उधार में लिए, उनको टिकट दी और सरकार में आई. लोकसभा में भी उन्होंने ऐसे ही नवीन जिंदल को लिया, रणजीत को लिया. उन्होंने लोकसभा में मुश्किल से 5 सांसद वो जीत पाए. इसी तरह विधानसभा में भी उन्होंने 20 से ज्यादा लोगों को, बागी लोगों को टिकट दिया है. इस बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी हमेशा के लिए बाहर हो जाएगी और भविष्य में दुष्यंत चौटाला जो मात्र 36 साल के नेता हैं वो हरियाणा के मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे. एक बड़ी हास्यास्पद बात उन्होंने कही कि युवा जो पार्टियां 70 साल के बाद रिटायरमेंट की बात करती है वो 55 साल के नायब सिंह सैनी को युवा सरकार का नाम दे रहे हैं. जितने भी इन्होंने कहा ना, इतने काम इन्होंने कर दिए. सारे काम इन्होंने हरियाणा के लोगों को बहकाने के लिए किए हैं. इन्होंने ना ऑर्डिनेंस. तो
आपको लगता है डॉक्टर सिंधु, जब कांग्रेस पार में थी हरियाणा में 10 साल पहले, उन्होंने बेहतर काम किया है बीजेपी से?
नहीं, उन्होंने तो बिल्कुल, उन्होंने तो किसानों की जमीनें लूटी हैं. उन्होंने तो नौकरियां, जितनी भी नौकरियां दी, पैसे के नाम पे, सिफारिश के नाम पे दी. और सारी नौकरियां, जितनी हरियाणा में नौकरियां लगी उसका 85% नौकरियों का अगर आप आकलन करोगे तो सारी की सारी एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में दी. लोग डरते थे.
सीट मिल रही है
लोग.
सर आपको कितनी सीट मिल रही है इस बार? अभी तो प्रेडिक्शन ये आ रहे हैं कि एक भी सीट नहीं मिल रही है जेजेपी को.
आप 400 पार का नारा दे रहे थे, उसके बाद आप
नहीं, आपने तो
पिछली बार आपने 75 पार का नारा दिया था, आप मुश्किल से 40 पे पहुंचे थे. इस बार आप हमेशा के लिए
बताइए. आप बताइए, 8 तारीख दूर
नहीं है, पता लग जाएगा. At this point in time, you are speculating. Of course, it is a war of egos, and of course, at this point of time, talking about how one party is better than the other, and of course, you're pitted. This is a tight fight between all the political parties. So yeah, this is going to be happening, and this is obvious. But Nikhil, again, closing comments, predictability in wake of how things have panned out in the Lok Sabha elections and now assembly elections coming up.
Megha, last time around, the BJP got 58% in the Lok Sabha elections in 2019, 37% in the Vidhan Sabha elections, because the BJP definitely benefits when it comes to Lok Sabha polling on the face of Narendra Modi, or because of being a national party, or this or that. However, this time around, the BJP barely got 5 out of 10 seats. I'm not quite sure what their vote share was. I think it was around 40% or something.
Very thin margin. If you see out of 5, 3 were very thin margin. Just do your number.
They may have been very thin margins, sir, but the point is that applies to you as well, that you have gotten 5 out of 10 seats. The Congress has gotten 5 out of 10 seats. And indeed, the BJP did not cross a 45% vote share in the Lok Sabha election. So we are definitely looking at a very strong drop in the Vidhan Sabha vote share that the BJP is likely to get, which directly translates into a lot of seat losses for the BJP. End in end, unless the JJP, INLD, Chandrasekhar Ravan, BSP, all of them together manage to cut down, take about 10-15 seats from the pie of 90, I don't see there is anything at all stopping the Congress from making a clear majority. And given the fact that the people now very clearly understand that what the JJP and INLD are doing, I don't think that they'll be able to get any seats.
Okay.
On one thing, I agree with Mr. Tyagi कि JJP की तो एक भी सीट नहीं आ रही है, and I'm not quite sure how my friend Dr. Sindhu is talking about being in the opposition and also talking about being the chief minister and also talking against the BJP and also talking against the Congress. I think they need to find their feet and understand what sort of politics they want to do. They can't, shoot an arrow in every direction. They have to decide what they want to do.
Okay, all right. On that note, I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast, and all the very best to all the political spokespersons who have joined me, because voting happens tomorrow. On that note, I slip into a short break. Thanks for watching News Eyes.